Genesis 15. The Lord's covenant with Abram. After this, the Lord spoke to Abram in a dream. God said, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I will keep you safe. I myself will give you many good gifts." But Abram said, "Lord God, there is one gift that I want. I still have no children. When I die, Eliezer of Damascus will receive everything that I have. Because you have not given me any children, understand this. Everything that I have will one day belong to a servant in my house." The Lord gave Abram this message: "No, Eliezer will not be the one who receives your things. You will have your own son. He will be the one who received everything that you have." The Lord took Abram outside. He said to Abram, "Look up at the sky, count the stars. You are not too many for you to count." Then God said, "That is how many descendants you will have." Abram believed the Lord. As a result, the Lord accepted Abram as right with him. The Lord also said to Abram, "I am the Lord. I brought you out of Ur of the Babylonia. No, I brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to bring you to this land. I am giving it to you. It will belong to you." But Abram said, "My Lord God, how can I be sure that this land will belong to me?" The Lord said to Abram, "Bring a young cow, a goat, and a male sheep to offer them to me. Each animal must be 3 years old. Also bring a dove and a young pigeon." Abram brought the 3 animals and the 2 birds to offer to God. Abram cut each animal into 2 pieces. He put the halves opposite each other. But he did not cut the bird in 2 pieces. Some birds flew down to eat the animals' dead bodies. But Abram sent them away. When the sun was going down, Abram started to sleep. Suddenly he became very afraid because it was dark everywhere. Then the Lord said to Abram, "Be sure of this. Your descendants will live in a country which is not their own. They will be strangers there. People will do bad things to them, and they will become slaves. This will continue for 400 years. But I will punish the people of that country who give them trouble. After this, your descendants will leave that country. They will take many valuable things with them. But as for you, Abram, you will have a long life. When you die, you will have peace in your mind. After 4 generations, your descendants will come back here to Canaan. At the time, I will punish the Amorites because they do very bad things. But the time has not yet arrived that I will punish them." Then the sun went down and it became dark. Abram saw a pot that had coals in it. The coals were burning and making smoke. There was also a branch that burned with bright fire. these passed between the halves of the animals that Abram had cut in two pieces. On that day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram. The Lord promised, I give this land to your descendants. The land starts from the river of Egypt and countries as far as the river Euphrates. These people live in the land. Canaanites, Canaanites, Ammonites, Hittites, Perizzites, Reuphates, Amorites, Canaanites, Girgashites, and Jebusites. Genesis 16. Abram's wife Sarai did not have any children. She had an Egyptian servant. The servant's name was Hagar. Sarai said to Abram, the Lord has not let me have any children. Go and sleep with my servant. Then if she give birth, her children will be my family. Abram agreed to do this. Abram had now been living in Canaan for 10 years. Sarah gave her Egyptian servant Hagar to him. She became like another wife for Abram. Abram had sex with Hagar and she became pregnant. When Hagar knew that she was pregnant, she no longer respected Sarai. Then Sarai said to Abram, it is because of you that Hagar is now insulting me. I gave her to you so that you could have sex with her. Now, she is pregnant and she does not respect me anymore. The Lord will decide who is right, you or me. Abram said to Sarai, Hagar is your servant and you have authority over her. Do her whatever you think is right. Then Sarai caused trouble for Hagar. So Hagar ran away from Sarai. The angel of the Lord found Hagar. She was by a stream of water in the desert. The stream was near the road to Shur. The angel said, Sarai's servant Hagar, where have you come from? Where are you going? Hagar replied, I'm running away from Sarai. I am her servant. The angel of the Lord told Hagar, go back to Sarai. You are her servant, and you must obey her. The angel also said, I will make the number of your descendants become very many. There will be too many for people to count. The angel of the Lord said to Hagar, now you are pregnant and you will give birth to a son. The Lord has heard your sad crying, so you must give your son the name Ismael. Like a wild donkey, nobody will be able to lure him. He will fight against everyone, and everyone will fight against him. He will think that everyone is his enemy. He will keep away from his brothers. When Hagar heard what the angel said, she said to herself, I have seen the God who sees me. So she called the Lord, the God who sees me. That is why they called the well in the place, Beer-lahai-roi. The well is between Kadesh and Bered. After some time, Hagar gave birth to a son. Abram was his father. Abram gave his son the name Ismail. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar gave birth to Ismail. Genesis 17. God changes Abram's name to Abraham. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to him. The Lord said, I am God Almighty. In all your life, obey me and do not wrong. Then I will certainly keep my covenant with you. I will make your descendants grow in number. Abram fell down so that his face touched the ground. God said to him, As for me, this is my covenant that I have made with you. You will become the descendant, ancestor of many nations of people. Your name will not be Abram anymore. Instead, your name will be Abraham, because I will cause you to become the ancestor of many nations. I will give you many descendants. This will make many nations of people. Some of your descendants will become kings. My covenant with you is very strong. I'm making it with you and with your descendants. It will continue for generation after generations of your descendants for all time. I'll be your God. I will also be a God of all your descendants. You're now living here in Canaan as a foreign person, but I will give all of this land to you and to your descendants. It will belong to them forever. I will be their God. Circumcision. God continued to speak to Abram. He said, As for you, you must agree to obey me. You must obey the rule of my covenant. You and all your descendants after you must obey it. This is what you and your descendants must do to obey my covenant. Every male person in your family must be circumcised. Your circumcision will show that you have agreed to my covenant with you. Every male child among you must be circumcised when he is 8 days old. You must continue to do this for every generation. Do it for every male that lives with you, not just your own family. Circumcised servants that have been born in your house, or also circumcised foreign servants that you have bought with money. You must circumcise all the male servants who work for you in your house. Circumcision will be a mark in your bodies, which show that you accept my covenant. It will continue for all time. If any male person among you has not been circumcised, I will not accept him as one of my people. He must become separate from his family, his people. He has not obeyed my covenant. God changes Sarah's name to Sarah. Then God said to Abraham, As for your wife, do not call her Sarah anymore. Instead, her name will be Sarah. I will bless her. She will give birth to a son for you. Many nations of people will be her descendants. Some of them will become kings. That is how much I will bless her." Abraham fell down so that his face touched the ground. He laughed and he said to himself, "I am now 100 years old. That is too old to have a son. Sarah is 90 years old, so she could never give birth to a child. That is too old to have a child." So Abraham said to God, "I would be happy if you'd bless Ismail as my son." God said to Abraham, "No, your wife Sarah will give birth to a son for you. You must give to him the name Isaac. I will make my covenant with him and with his descendants for all time. I have heard what you want me to do for Ismail. I will bless him. I will cause him to have many descendants. Among his descendants there will be 12 laws. His descendants will become a great nation. But I will make my covenant with Isaac, not with Ismail. At about this time next year, Sarah will give birth to your son Isaac." When God had finished speaking to Abraham, he went away. On the same day, Abraham circumcised Ismail and every male person in his house. He circumcised every male servant that was born in his house, as well as those that he had bought with money. He did this in the way that God had told him. Abraham himself was circumcised when he was 99 years old. His son Ismail was 13 years old when he was circumcised. Abraham and Ismail were circumcised on the same day. As well as them, all the male people living in Abraham's house were circumcised. This included the male servant that had been born in his house and those that he had bought with money. Genesis 18. God promised the son to Abraham. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the special oak trees of Mamre. It was the hot time of day, and Abraham was sitting by the door of his tent. Abraham looked up and he saw 3 men. He ran in a hurry to meet them. He bent down to the ground to respect them. Abraham said, "Please, sir, stop here and let me serve you. That would make me very happy. Let's bring some water so that you could all wash your feet. Then you can rest under this tree. Let me also bring some food for you to eat. Now that you have come to my home, you should rest and become strong again. Then you will be ready to continue with your journey." The man replied, "That is good. Please do what you have said." Abraham went quickly to the tent. He said to Sarah, "Be quick, get plenty of good flour and make bread with it." Then Abraham ran to his cows. He chose a very nice young cow. He gave it to his servant. The servant quickly prepared it for the man to eat. Then Abraham also brought some butter and some milk, as well as the meat from the cow. He put all the food in front of the men while they ate it. Abraham stood near them under a tree. Then the man asked Abraham, "Where is Sarah, your wife?" Abraham replied, "She is there in the tent." Then one of the men said, "I will certainly return to you at about this time next year. At that time, Sarah, your wife, will have a son." Sarah was listening to all this. She was at the door of the tent, near to where they were talking. Abram and Sarah were now very old. Sarah was past the age when she could give birth to a child. So Sarah laughed herself. She thought, "I have become old and weak. My husband is also old. I will never have a baby and be happy like that." Then the Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh like that?" She said, "I am too old to have a child." But surely nothing is too difficult for the Lord to do. At this time next year, I will return to you and Sarah will have a son. Then Sarah was afraid, so she told a lie. She said, "I did not laugh." But the Lord said, "Yes, you did laugh." God decided to punish the people in Sodom. Abram's visitors started to leave. They looked down in very toward Sodom. Abraham was walking with them to say goodbye to them. Then Lord said to himself, "I should tell Abraham what I am going to do. Abraham's descendants will become a great nation of people. They'll be very powerful. Through him, I will bless all the nations of the earth. I have chosen him so that he will teach my message to his children and their families. He will teach them to do what is right and what is fair. Then I, the Lord, will do for Abraham everything that I have promised to him." So the Lord said to Abraham, "I have heard how bad the people in Sodom and Gomorrah are. Everybody says that their sins are very bad. So I must go down there to see if it is really true. I will see if those people are as bad as everybody says they are. Then I will know what is true." The other two men then turned away and they went toward Sodom. But Abraham stayed there to talk with the Lord. Then Abraham went near to the Lord and he asked, "Will you destroy the good people as well as the bad people? There might be 50 people in the city who live in a good way. Will you still destroy the whole city? Or will you leave it there because there are 50 good people in it? Will you kill them all, the good people and the bad people? Surely you'd not do anything like that. You would not punish the good people in the same way as bad people. You are the great judge of everyone on the earth. You will surely do what is right." The Lord replied, "If I see that there are 50 good people in the city of Sodom, I will not destroy that place because of those 50 good people. I will leave the city there." Abraham spoke again. He said, "I've been brave enough to speak to the Lord. I know that I am nothing more than dust and ashes. But let me ask you this. What will you do? What will you do if there are 45 good people in the city? Will you destroy the city because there are only 5 fewer good people there?" The Lord replied, "If I see that there are 45 good people in the city, I will not destroy it." Abraham spoke to the God again. He said, "What will you do if only 40 good people are there?" The Lord said, "Because of 40 good people, I will not destroy the city." Then Abraham said, "Please do not be angry, Lord. Let me speak again. What will you do if there are only 30 good people there?" The Lord answered, "I will not destroy the city if I find 30 good people there." Abraham said, "I have been brave to speak to you, Lord. What will you do if only 20 good people are there?" The Lord said, "Because of 20 good people, I will not destroy the city." After all that, Abraham said, "Please do not be angry, Lord. Let me speak just one more time. If there are only 10 good people there, what will you do?" "What will you do?" The Lord replied, "Because of 10 good people, I will not destroy the city." The Lord had finished speaking with Abraham, so he continued on his journey. Abraham returned home. Genesis 19. Lot leaves Sodom. The 2 angels arrived at Sodom. It was evening and Lot was sitting near the city gate. When Lot saw the angels, he got up to meet them. He turned his face toward the ground to respect them. Lot said, "My Lord, please come to stay in my house. You can wash your feet and stay the night there. Then you can continue your journey early in the morning." The angels replied, "No, we will stay the night here in this public place." But Lot continued to ask them to stay with him. So the angels went with Lot to his house. Lot prepared a big meal for them with some bread that he had baked without yeast. The angel ate the food. After that, they were preparing to go to bed. Then all the men who lived in Sodom came to Lot's house. They were old men and young men who came from every part of the city. They stood all around the house. The men shouted to Lot, "Where are the men who are staying with you tonight? Bring them out here to us. We want to have sex with them." Lot went outside to talk to the man. He shut the door of his house behind him. He said, "No, my friends, please do not do this evil thing. See here, I have 2 daughters. They have never had sex with a man. Let me bring them out to you." then you can do whatever you want with them. But do not do anything to these men. They are my visitor and I cannot let anyone hurt them. The man from the city said, "Do not try to stop us. You are a stranger here in this city. You cannot tell us what to do. Be careful or we'll do even worse things to you." They punished against Lot and tried to reach the door of his house. He wanted to break the door and go into the house. The two visitors who were inside the house opened the door. They pulled Lot back into his house and they shut the door quickly. Then they caused all the men outside to become blind. The young men of the city and the old men became blind. As a result, they couldn't find the door of the house, even though they tried for some time. The two visitors asked Lot, "Do you have any of your family here in the city? Do you have any sons or daughters, or husband for your daughters? If you have any family, you must take them away from here. We are gonna destroy this city. Everybody knows how bad the people who live here are. As a result, the Lord has sent us to destroy this place." So Lot went out of his house. He spoke to the men who were going to marry his daughters. He said to them, "Hurry, leave this city now, because the Lord is going to destroy it." But the men did not believe Lot. They thought he was being funny. At dawn, the two angels told Lot he must leave quickly. They said to him, "Hurry, take your wife and take your two daughters who are here. If you do not go quickly, you will all die when the Lord destroys the city." But Lot did not move. So the angels took hold of Lot's hands, as well as the hands of his wife and his two daughters. The Lord was very kind to Lot and his family, and the angels led them away from the city. When they had reached a place outside the city, out of the angel said, "Now run. Your lives are in danger. Do not look behind you. Do not stop anywhere in this valley. Run up into the mountains or you will die." But Lot said, "No, please, my Lord, I can't do that. I am your humble servant and you have been very kind to me. You saved my life. But I can't run away into the mountains. If I try to do that, this punishment will catch me before I reach there. Then I will surely die. Look, it's that town over there. It's near and I can run to it safely. And it's a small town, so please let me run there. You can see that it is only a small place. If I go there, I'll stay alive." The angel said to Lot, "Okay, I will let you do what you've asked. I will not destroy the town, but run there quickly. I can't do anything until you arrive in the town. The name of town became Jor because it was small. Lot reached Jor at the time when the sun was rising that morning. Then Lord poured sulfur that was the fire down on Sodom and Gomorrah. It fell from the sky like rain. In that way, God destroyed those cities and everything in the valley. He killed all the people who lived in those cities and killed all the plants that grew on the land. But as they ran away, Lot's wife looked back at the city. When she did that, she became a large piece of salt, like a column. Early in the morning, Abraham returned to the place where he had spoken with the Lord. He took toward Sodom and Gomorrah and the whole valley. He saw thick dark smoke that was rising from the land. It was the smoke from a big fire. When God destroyed the cities of the valley, He saved Lot from the punishment. God remembered what Abraham had asked him. He took Lot away from the cities where he had lived. Then God destroyed those cities, Lot and his daughters. Lot was afraid to live in Jor, so he took his two daughters and they went into the mountains. They lived together in a cave. One day, the older daughter said to her sister, "Our father is now old. There are no men who live near here, so there is nobody to marry us. We can't have sex like everyone on the earth wants to do. So we should give our father much wine to drink. When he becomes drunk, we'll have sex with him. Then our father's family will continue to have descendants." That night, they caused their father to become drunk with wine. The older daughter had sex with him. Lot was very drunk. He didn't know when she came to him, and he didn't know when she left him. The next day, the older daughter said to her younger sister, "Last night I had sex with my father. You should make him drunk with wine again tonight. Then you can have sex with him. As a result, your father's family will continue." So that night, they caused their father to become drunk again. The younger daughter had sex with her father. He did not know when she came to him, and he didn't know when she left him. In that way, Lot caused both of his daughters to become pregnant. The older daughter gave birth to a son. She called him Moab. She became the ancestor of the Moabitics. The younger daughter also gave birth to a son. She called him Ben-Ami. He became the ancestor of the Ammonites. Abraham and Abimelech. Abraham traveled south to the Negev desert. He lived between Kadesh and Suru. For a time, he stayed in Gerar. While she was there, Abraham told people that his wife, Sarah, was his sister. Because of this, the king of Gerar took Sarah so that she would become his wife. The king's name was Abimelech, but God appeared to Abimelech in a dream. He said to Abimelech, "Now you will die. The woman that you have taken to be your wife is already a married woman." But Abimelech had not yet touched Sarah. He said to God, "Lord, I'm not done anything wrong. Surely you will not destroy me and my people." Abraham told me that Sarah was his sister, and she herself said, "I am his sister, so I am not guilty. I didn't think that I was doing a bad thing." God spoke to Abimelech again in a dream. He said, "That is true. You didn't think that you were doing something wrong. I know that. So I didn't let you touch her. I stopped you from doing anything wrong against me. You must now give her back to her husband. He's a prophet and he will pray for you. Because of that, you will not die. But if you don't give her back, you and all your people will surely die." Early the next morning, Abimelech called together his officers. He told them what had happened. When the officers heard about it, they were very afraid. Abimelech called Abraham to come to him. He said to Abraham, "Have you done these bad things against us? I've not done anything wrong against you. No, you have made me and the people in my kingdom guilty of very bad thing. Nobody should ever do the things that you've done to me." Abimelech asked Abraham, "What caused you to do this?" Abraham replied, "I did it because I was afraid. I thought the people here don't respect God. They will kill me so that they can take my wife from me. And also, she really is my sister. She's the daughter of my father. But she's not a daughter of my mother. And she became my wife. God told me to leave my father's house and to travel. At the time, I said to Sarah, 'This is how you can show that you love me. Everywhere we go, tell people that I am your brother.' Then Abimelech brought sheep and cows to give to Abraham. He also gave to Abraham male and female servants, and he gave Sarah back to Abraham. Abimelech said, 'Look, see my land all around you. Go and live anywhere when you want to leave. Abimelech said to Sarah, I've given 1,000 pieces of silver to your brother. This to show everyone that you yourself did nothing wrong. It'll pay you for any trouble that you have received. Then Abraham prayed to God. As a result, God made Abimelech become well again. He also made Abimelech's wife and his female slave become well, so that they could have children again. The Lord had made them unable to have children. He did this because of what happened to Abraham's wife Sarah. Abraham's son, the Lord was kind of Sarah. He did what he had promised to do for her. Sarah became pregnant. She gave birth to a son for Abraham when he was very old. This happened at the time when God had said that it would. Abraham called his son Isaac. This is the son that Sarah gave birth to. When Isaac was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him. That is what God had told him to do. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born. Sarah said, Now God had made me laugh. Everyone who will hear about what has happened will be happy with me. She also said, Abraham would never have thought that I would feed a child at my breast, but I have given birth to a son from him, even when he is old. The child grew stronger, and he began to eat food. On that day, Abraham prepared a big party meal. Then Sarah saw that Ishmael was laughing at Isaac. Ishmael was the son of Abraham and Hagar, the Egyptian servant. So Sarah said to Abraham, Send the slave woman and her son away from here. Ishmael must never receive any of our family's things. Everything must belong to my own son Isaac. This made Abraham very sad, because Ishmael was his own son. God said to Abraham, Do not be upset about Ishmael or about Hagar. Do whatever Sarah tells you. Your family's descendants will come through Isaac, not Ishmael. But because Ishmael is also your son, I'll make his descendants become a great nation of people too. Abraham woke up early in the next morning. He took some food and some water in a bottle what was made from animal skin. He gave them to Hagar and he put them on her shoulders. Then he sent Hagar away with their son Ishmael. She went and she traveled around the wilderness of Bethsaida. After they had drunk all the water, Hagar put her son in the shade under a bush. She herself and then sat down about 100 meters away from him. She thought, I can't watch the boy die. As she sat there, she began to cry. Ishmael was crying and God heard him. The angel of God spoke to Hagar from heaven. He said, "What is trouble, Hagar? Don't be afraid. God has heard the boy while he is crying there. Go over to him and lift him up. Take hold his hand and help him to stand. I'll make him become a great nation of people." Then God helped Hagar to see clearly. She saw a well with water in it. She went to a well and she filled the bottle with water. She gave the boy some water to drink. God took care of Ismail while he grew up. The boy lived in the desert. He became a hunter of wild animals. He replied in the Paran wilderness. Hagar, his mother, found an Egyptian wife for him to marry. Abram and Abimelech make an agreement together. At the time, Pekor was the leader of King Abimelech's army. Abimelech and Pekor said to Abram, "We see that God helps you in everything that you do. So please make a promise to me in front of God. Promise that you will never receive me or my children or my descendants. You are living here in his land as a stranger. I've been kind to you, so please show that you will also be kind to us." Abraham said, "I promise to all that." One day, Abraham complained to Abimelech about a certain well of water. Abimelech's servant had taken the well from Abraham. They said that the well belonged to them. Abimelech said, "I don't know who had done this. You did not tell me before. I didn't hear about it until today." So Abraham brought some sheep and some cows and he gave them to Abimelech. The two men made the promise to help each other. Abraham took 7 female lambs from the sheep. He put them in a different place from the other animals. Abimelech asked Abraham, "Why have you put these 7 lambs in a different place?" Abraham replied, "You must accept these 7 rams as a gift from me. That will show that you agree that I dug this well. Everyone will know that it belongs to me. Because of that, the name of the place become Beersheba, because the two men made the promise there. In that way, they made the promise at Beersheba to help one another. Then Abimelech and Phicol, the leader of his army, returned to the land of the Palestines. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba. In the place, he worshipped the Lord who is God forever. Abraham lived in the land of the Palestine for a long time.